Hi everyone, this video is ACT Math, the second part of the math formula, which is about algebra. So probably, we're gonna have three parts of algebra. This is the first one of the algebra. So if you look at the slide, so page 2, the first one that I put is variables. You get to see these type of questions all the time from SAT or ACT. Then how you're supposed to do is something that I'm going to show you. The given equation, which is S equals RT minus 3 over R minus T. Since the question is asking you about, you have to put this one as R equals something. Then the very first one that we can do is we multiply R minus T to the both sides. So we can move this one to left side. And then we distribute this 2. So RS minus TS equals RT minus 3. Since we have to make it as R equals, so then we have R here. So then we have to put, these terms that, having R on the one side and the other ones on the other side. So let's subtract R minus T on both sides, then RS minus R minus T we can put, and then we add TS on the both sides. So we can eliminate this, then TS minus 3. And also R has to be isolated, so we can actually take out RS minus T equals TS minus 3. Then simply we divide by S minus T on both sides. So which is R has to be TS minus 3 over S minus T. This is really popular question that you get to see from SAT or ACT. Please memorize whatever way that you have to do, okay? And the next slide, if you go, there's some typical patterns of the questions that you get to see, which is if you have to add A plus Y that is equal to 10, Y plus Z equal to 14, and then X plus Z or Z plus X equal to 8. If you add all three of them together, then you're going to see 2X plus 2Y plus 2Z equals 32. And divide by 2, X plus Y plus Z equal to 16. Once you figure out up to here, pretty simple. Since X plus Y is 10, this is 10, then Z has to be 16. Z has to be 6, I'm sorry. And then if you think about Y plus Z is 14, so Y plus Z is 14, then X is to be 2. And then lastly, if you think about X plus Z is, X and Z is 8, then Y has to be 8. If this is a case of summation, but then if it is product, you can use a similar idea of that too. But a little bit difference is instead of you adding, you have to multiply. So Y is Z, and then X times Z equals 6. This is equal to 14. So you multiply all three of these equations. Then this is X squared, Y squared, Z squared. That is 10 times 15 times 6. And then simply you can put radicals. So then X, Y, Z has to be, this is, 2 times 5, 3 times 5, 2 times 3, so which is 2 times 3 times 5. See. After that, since x times y is 10, so xy is 10, so 10 goes away, z has to be 3. Same goes with y and z. YZ is 15, then 15 goes away, x has to be 2. And then xz is 2 is 6. 6 goes away, y has to be 5. So this is like sort of typical question. If you memorize this, it'll be like useful. Then another the variable question that is x plus y 2x minus y 2x plus y plus z equals 100. Typical way to do is you have to work it out with 2 first and eliminate one variable, and then same variable you take it out, and then you work this 2 out and then get the answer. But if you look at this question closely, like these 2 equations, if you add this 2, this one goes away, this one goes away. So which means this is all much simpler than what you can think, which is 3x equals 120, then x has to be 40. And after that, after you get the x equals 40, if you put that into here, then you're going to get, 40 plus y minus c equals 40. These 2 goes away, so y minus c equals 0. That means y equal to 0 c. And then if you think about putting that into other equations like this, let's say, or this one, doesn't matter. Maybe like third one, this one, let's put that into here. So then this is 80, right? 2 times 40 is 80. So 80 plus y plus z equals 100. But then y equals z, so you put z here. So then 2z equals 20, so z has to be 10. Once you get z as a 10, y has to be 10 as well. So then we get 40, 10, 10. Okay, we'll move on to the next page. Powers, exponents, and roots. So this is a pretty simple the properties that you need to like understand, which is whenever exponents that you see multiplication exponents becomes, and then something that you have to be careful about is this one. You multiply this to this. Okay. If you get confused with this type of question, what you can think about is, oh, we have a amount of x and b amount of x. And how many total amount we have? If you think about the first one, a plus b amount. But then we have x, a amount of x, but then of b. So then these 2 has to be multiplied because that's what, we have. Let's say this is 2 and 3. So we have x2, squared. These 3 is whatever this is like explaining about. Okay, so then we have total of 6, and then you can just simply put 2 times 3, which is 6. And then the question on the bottom, it says x 1/2, 1/3 equals x to the p, I guess. No, it looks really blurry. Oh, x to the p, yeah, it is p. And if you think about this the parentheses, which is multiplication. So we put x 1/2 times 1/3. That is x to p powered. Then simply p has to be 1/6. But then question is asking you about p squared, which is 1/6 squared. So 1/36. And then in the real numbers, what is the solution of equation of this? So 8 to the 2x plus 1 equals 4, 1 minus x. As soon as you see this, oh, this the base number is different. So then we have to make it same. So how can we make it same is, obviously you can think it as 8 equals 2 cubed. Then you can put 2 squared. Since this is multiplication, you can just think it as, oh, 2, 3, 2x plus 1. That is equal to 1 minus x. Then you don't need to worry about this base. Then 6x plus 3 is equal to 2 minus 2x. So 8x equals minus 1. X has to be minus 1/8. Okay, now move on to next page, page 7. So what is the set of all the values of b that satisfy the equation this? Then if you think about equation of x cubed 4 minus b squared, that is equal to 1. So let's take out this parentheses first, which is x 12 minus 3b squared equals 1. And then how can you make 1 when it is like, you know, the exponential expression? Then only way that you can have is this exponent has to be 0. That's why 12 minus 3b squared equal to 0, which is 12 equals 3b squared. Simplify like this. B has to be plus minus 2. The next question, 27 times 3x equals 9 to the y minus 6. And y is 6. Let's simplify this a little bit more, which means let's make same base. This one is 3 cubed times 3 to the x power, and then 3 squared y minus 6. Then since it is multiplication, the left side has to be 3 plus x. And the right side is multiplication because there's a parentheses, 2y minus 12. Now you can simply put base goes away, 3 plus x equals 2y minus 12. And then since we know y equals 6, you can plug this into here, which is 3 plus, this is plus x equals 12 minus 12, which is equal to 0. That's why x has to be negative 3. Log is another one that you need to know all the properties, but then this is mostly like similar to exponential expression, because basically log is from the idea of exponential expression, because let's say y equals x. Graph of this one looks like this. But then when you think about inverse function of this one, like since inverse function means symmetric over y equals x line, So then it's going to be something like this. Then how can we put this into mathematical notation was one of the questions they had a long time ago, mathematicians. So whatever they came up with is now make new the mathematical notation. So then what they did was, since think about the inverse function. So then what we do, we change y to x, x to y. Then how can we put down this y on the, the base so that, we can work it out as y equals something. So then they came up with new notation now. Oh, y goes this way, and then x goes to the other way, and then base goes to base, and then we put log. That's what it is. We switch it off. Base goes to base, we switch it off. So this yellow line is y equals log 2x. Now some of the properties that you have to understand is multiplication of log AB, that is log A plus log B. If it is division, we subtract. And also, if you want to use a calculator to do these questions, log-related questions, if you have TI-84, then you can just simply go math. You press the button of math, and then you roll down a little bit more. Then you see log base. Then if you like, hit the log base, then you can put in the base and the whatever number that you need to put. So you can utilize that one too. Let's try this given question on the bottom, and then we can understand more of this log property. So log base b x y over 2 to the 5th power, that is equal to 5 log b x y over b. So, which means the first thing that we have to understand is the power, the exponent goes in front of it, okay? And then second one that we think about is now division, this one. So we put everything same, but instead of division, we're putting minus. Something that you have to be careful about is this 5 is outside of log, so then you have to just put parentheses around so that you don't make mistake. And then another one that we see is this multiplication. So then we actually do 5 log b x plus log by minus log c. That's the answer for this one. Okay, and move on to page number 10. It says, given that ABC are all positive, which of the following is equivalent to log this? So on the actual test, you're gonna have answer choice. So let me just explain one by one, and then you can compare to the answer choice if it is the case that you have answer choice on the top. This one is just putting, the division. So division first, we can just separate it out as minus sign. So AB squared minus log C. And then another one that we can see is, this one is multiplication. So then log A plus log B squared minus log C. And the next one is, this is exponent, so we can put it down. 2 C. Okay. We'll move on to page 11. Whenever x, y, z are positive real numbers, which of the following expression is equivalent to the this? Now this is the other way around, how you can put this as a one simple, term, or like, simpler term, I guess. This. So the first thing you can do is you can put this one up first. Okay, so that we can have all same, log. So log base 3x squared, and this is base 6. Let's just put this one right after this to make it easier. And then log base 6y 1 half. And then since it is same base, but then this is division, so we do the minus, so we do division. So log 3x squared over z plus log 6. Y 1 half, you can put it as 1 half, or you can put in a radical sign. Either or is fine. So this is the answer for this one. If log base is different, you can't do anything after that. The next question. Log base 2, 24 minus log base 2, 3. That is equal to log base 5x. Since we have same base 2 and 2, we can put them together as division. Log base 2, 24, 3. That is log base 5x. And then this one is, right now, this is 8. So log base 2, and 8 is 2 cubed. And we can put 2 cubed. That is log base 5x. Since this one goes away, 3, you can go put it in front. So then 3 equals log 5x. So then you can simply switch it over and see how it works, which is x goes this way. This one, base is base, which is 5. And then 3 becomes exponent. So x is basically 5 cubed, which is 125. And the next question, it says, whenever w is an integer greater than 1, log. So you can simplify this. Log base w is w squared over w6. Simply we can, take out this division sign as a minus, so that we can put log base w squared minus log base w to the 6th power. And then 2, you can put it down, 6, put it down, and this one goes away. So which is 2 minus 6, which is minus 4. Next question. Log 3, base 3, 2. That is p. And log base 3, 5 is q. And then question is asking you about 10. If you look at the question closely, oh, this is something that, what we can relate to is 10 equals 2 times 5. Oh, 2 is here, 5 is here. So then how can we do that is we switch this one to different format, which is exponential expression. So as I said earlier, base goes down as a base. Oh, sorry, that's not base. Base goes down to base, and we switch it off. So the p is here, and then 2 is here. Okay, Same thing, base goes down to base, and then q, that is equal to 5. So then ultimately whatever we're looking for is 2 times 5. So then this times, 3p times 3q is another way you can put 3p powered times 3q powered, which is same base. We can just put it as summation. So that's why the answer is F for this one. The next one, factoring. So if you don't remember all this factoring forms, I strongly recommend memorize this. Okay, you can do like foiling one by one, like let's say x plus y squared means x plus y times x plus y, and you do x squared plus xy plus xy plus y squared. Because of that, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. That's okay, perfectly fine, but it takes longer time. Strongly urge you guys memorize these three, at least these three, okay? And then using this formula on the bottom question, it says how many xy pairs of real numbers satisfy xy equals 3, and then this x plus y squared equals 10. Using this formula that, whatever I just did, this is squared. If you actually put this one here, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared equals 10. But then another one given information is x times y equals 3. That means x squared plus 6 plus y squared equals 10. X squared plus y squared equals 4. So we have 1, and then the given information as a 2. Then if you think about this situation here, so x times y, let's assume x is 1 and then y has to be 3. So then if you plug that in, 1 squared is 1 and 3 squared is 9. That doesn't work. And then one by one, if you actually plug in like more and more, you probably find that, oh, nothing works. So that the answer is 0. But how I can prove this more intelligent way is if you actually draw a graph. This is this graph, because this is 2 and 2, okay? And then x times y equals 3 is y equals 3 over x graph. So it's going to be something like this graph. It doesn't touch each other. That's why there's no real number solution. And then okay, and then let me see. Okay, one more question, and then all done for today. This video. So completing the square. Okay, completing the square. For what value of t does the equation h equals this? And its maximum value of h. The easiest way to do is if you use a calculator and graph it. So you go to y equals and put in 3t, which is 3x minus that in, and then press the button for graph. Then you see the maximum value of h, which is y value. But without having graphic calculator, you can just simply factor this out, t out, 3 minus t. Then you can see the graph as, oh, the two roots that we can find is 0 and 3, and 0 and 3. But then this is minus, it goes like this way. So this is 3, this is 0, then maximum has to be between these two, 3 over 2. So you can plug 3 over 2 into here and here, so which is 3 over 2, which is 9 over 2, minus 3 over 2 squared, 9 over 4. Then it's going to be hold on a second, no weird. 3 over 2 minus 9 over 4. Okay, so 9 over 4 will be the value of y. But then the question is, what value of t does equation? So this is 9 over 4, but then, you know, the question is asking this value. 3 over 2 is the answer. So something that you have to be careful about is this. But then this is one way you can do. And then another way you can do is, let me just clear this out. You do completing square. So let's put this way. Then you take out minus sign out. Okay. And then you do half of this squared, which is minus 3 over 2 squared. You have to put that in. And then the exact same number, you have to take it out. And ultimately, it becomes t squared minus 3t plus 9 over 4 minus 9 over 4. Now you have to take this part out of this one to make the completing the square. We can change to plus like this because there's a minus sign. Then we can rewrite this as t minus 3 over 2 squared plus 9 over 4. Now we can get the vertex as a 3 over 2 comma 9 over 4. Since the question is asking you about this x value, you have to put 3 over 2 as an answer. So you have to be careful about this question. If, you know, question might ask you about the the x value, but then they put the answer choice as 9 over 4 first and a, then you might get confused and also ended up, you might pick, you know, 9 over 4. Okay, this is for this this video, but then I'm gonna continue next video with part 2, which is page 17 and like up to page 32. And then we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.